Easy, easy, easy. Be careful. It's small, it's small. Easy, 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 damn it. Easy, easy, easy. That is a pretty one. How would you... Oh, wait, no, wait. Oh, what's going on? What is happening with you? Oh, there's a lot here. Easy, easy, easy. You're so small. Okay, just let it get it out. Try to twist. This is getting in the way. He's pawing at me. Oh, why are you biting me? Why? On the neck. Damn, check the neck. Yeah, it's right here on the neck. It's okay, little buddy. Easy, easy, easy. Well, just let go. Come on. Of course, the video quality for the first minutes does not reflect our shooting abilities at all, but we did not seem to be prepared for this. You never know where your help might be needed. We found the squirrel in the city park, or rather we didn't find it, but an old lady passing by said that a squirrel got tangled in a fishing line in the trees over there. If it were children that found it, they would have carried it home to save it, but the old lady at least told us where she found it, and so a big thank you to you for that. There are a lot of stray dogs out here, and so we don't really know how this could have happened. Damn, really? Well, people are just... you're biting. Oh. After taking 20 minutes, it became clear to us that the squirrel could not be released just like that, and we decided to take him back to the hangar. You guys do not leave your garbage behind. It seems like a harmless fishing line, but it could cost a little squirrel its life. We gotta unravel. It's biting. Jack, look who we found here in the forest. We found him in the forest. You got it? It cannot be said that it was difficult to free the squirrel from the shackles of the fishing line, but from the outside it seemed that it would be much easier. This is a really active and mobile animal that I had to aim really carefully with the scissors 20 times before I could even cut the fishing line at all. Everyone was really afraid to accidentally prick the squirrel. And yet, despite the fact that this is still a baby squirrel, biting with its teeth is very unpleasant. After we released it from the fishing line, we thought that the squirrel would go crazy and run off, but it turned out to be pretty calm and even began to clean its fur and wash its face. Now it realized that it was safe and that we wanted to help it, not harm it. Such a beautiful animal could be the downfall of all hatred in the world. When it became clear to us that the danger was over, our little buddy decided to relax and fall asleep. We definitely did not expect this turn of events. Well, how about it? It's safe, and I do that as well when I'm stressed out. You need to calm your emotions and decompress. True, squirrels are pretty timid, and they are really light sleepers. They jump up at any sudden movements. While Victor was watching over the squirrel as it slept, I rushed out and bought several varieties of nuts and raisins. Judging by the size, it is still very small, but it's kind of hard to tell. But according to Wikipedia, it should be more than 8 weeks old if it is separated from its mother, or vice versa, younger than 8 weeks, which means its mother is still waiting in the forest for it at home. And we also read some sad statistics that 75 to 80% of young squirrels do not live to be a year and to die for various reasons. Anyway, the squirrel needs to be returned to the wild. We went back to the place where we picked up our little buddy and let him go in peace. However, the squirrel got so attached to us that it did not want to leave and preferred to just run over to me, jump on my neck, and not back into the wild. Of course, we were flattered by such behavior and already thought of keeping it for ourselves. But I guess this was goodbye. As soon as its ears were sprung up, our little buddy, we called him Sebastian, climbed up the trunk to the very top of the tree, and then from tree to tree, and just sat there looking at us from up above. He's still really small, though. But the thing is, as soon as we went to leave, the squirrel came down to say goodbye to all of us. Now I'm like a kangaroo mom. Of course, we love animals, and there was a time when we often filmed videos with a raccoon named Hype. And animal themes follow us even when we're not planning on shooting anything of the sort at all. Now we will have to build a house for the squirrel, wait until it grows up, get stronger, and then let it be free outside. We bought a bar, a mock-up of an aviary in her head, and drove out to assemble the frame. The wooden skeleton is just the beginning. The next step is to cover the frame with a metal mesh. By the way, the size of the squirrel house will be about 2 meters high, 2 meters wide, and 4 meters long. This gives the squirrel enough room to roam. Now we just need to hang up the doors, and we're finished with the exterior. Now we move on to the interior. We will create conditions for the squirrel that are as close as possible to what it sees in the wild, maybe even a little bit better. In any case, everyone has heard about a squirrel wheel. It is used for small domestic rodents, for hamsters, mice, chipmunks, and of course for squirrels. It's not for nothing that they named this after it. Since our new guest has a luxury house, this wheel is an integral part of the interior. And there are no such sizes as we want on scale. And so we don't need to, we can assemble it with our own hands. Our wheel, or rather our squirrel wheel, is the same size as a bicycle wheel. In a word, there will be much room for it to speed up. To use the driving force of the squirrel into electricity, we got a small generator and a board. All we have to do now is put it together and we can charge our phone for free. Well, I mean, how free? I threw a couple of nuts into a furnace, turned off the phone, and was happy. In addition to the squirrel wheel, we also made a few more little things, namely a real wooden ladder that will lead us to a hanging hammock. In short, it's not like a house, but a relaxation. They say that elephants can walk hundreds of kilometers in search of squirrel salt. Such trips are useless because we have also not forgotten about the salt stone either. All nuances are taken into account if possible. And now our work is ready for delivery to its potential resident. Now it's time to show our little buddy his new temporary home. I don't know yet how long he will be living with us, but given the sad statistics that 4 out of 5 squirrels die in their first winter, we wanted to break this trend at least a little bit. And then that way I think the baby will stay with us until spring. By the way, we collectively gave him a name, Sebastian, for his incredible speed to run away. If he doesn't go up to your arms, then you will not catch him on your own ever. So Sebastian is our new ward, so per se, and we are responsible for his life at least until next spring. We have yet to find out the squirrel's diets and preferences, so let's start with some peanuts, almonds, and raisins. The only thing we have yet to do is explain to Sebastian how to use the wheel. And we showed him by example. We tried turning it, But it turns out that Google says that squirrels don't really understand what kind of miracle wheel this is and why we need to charge the phone at all. But he quickly grasps what a bell is and why it is needed on YouTube for all of us. I'm sure that most of you have thought about what would happen if you were to introduce a squirrel to a raccoon, or show a raccoon to a squirrel. What reaction would the raccoon have? What about the squirrel? At first, Hype did not understand at all why he was brought into this cage, but the raccoon's curiosity did not leave him indifferent, especially with such an interesting creature like a squirrel. He didn't even realize right away why there was somebody else in there besides him. Much more interesting was the abundance of all kinds of manholes and passages, ropes, and a bunch of interesting stumps that could be turned over. Even the raccoon climbed the house before he even realized that he was not alone inside. But Sebastian seems to live up to his name. If the raccoon is 10 times slower than a human, then a squirrel is just as much faster as any of us. It's all figurative, of course, but our raccoon could not catch up to our little buddy for anything, so the acquaintance turned out to be like a full-time, but not tactile in any way. Our squirrel mostly moves around the top, and the raccoon is not like a tightrope walker by any means, and the branches were not calculated for his weight. So, well, we may come back to this topic of dating a raccoon with a squirrel, but for now, bye-bye.